Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt, our nutritional therapist here at Sachs Wellness Center. And we have been getting together and talking about various topics, and seems to be of interest. Today we thought we would talk about vitamin D because it's so important for so many things. And I know you had some thoughts you wanted to share, so why don't we start with that?
Okay, well, it does have an effect on a lot of things in our body. It affects 3,000 of our genes that we know of.
Wow.
That's what we know of. That doesn't even hit the things that we don't know. So it is such an important vitamin, and it's really not a vitamin, it's a hormone, but close enough. So it's really important that we get enough vitamin D. We live in Michigan. We in Gaylord, we're at the 45th parallel, so that makes a difference as to how long we can get vitamin D. And it's between now and 2 weeks from now that we won't be able to get any more vitamin D from the sun. And I think people don't realize that there is a time in the season that we can't get vitamin D from the sun. It's at the wrong angle for us. It's too far away.
It's so little that it may as well be said that it's not. Right.
So we can store it, since vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, we can store it for a couple weeks. We can get enough in to store for a couple weeks, but after that we're done, we're out, and pretty much everybody in this country eventually is going to need to take vitamin D. But in Michigan, especially near us at the 45th parallel, sometime in the next couple weeks, everybody should start taking probably, a couple thousand, if not all the way up to 5,000 IU of D.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that I wanted to mention.
So, sometimes people are worried because they hear these big numbers, 5,000, But just to be out in the sun, how much vitamin D does a person get?
If you're at peak time for us, so that'd be about 12:30. If you're at peak time right now, you in 20 minutes, if you're wearing short pants and short sleeves, so not so much just on your face, but you have to have short pants, short sleeves, you can get 10 to 20,000 IU of D.
Yeah, and I bring it up just because it wouldn't be uncommon to be wearing short pants and short sleeves, and nobody thinks anything bad is happening because you get 20,000 IUs that day.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and there are therapeutic amounts. I've read studies where they give children that are autistic, they give them 20,000 IU a day, and the kids start talking. Kids that weren't talking before will start talking. So it is influential. We don't need 20,000 IU. I wouldn't want anybody to do that. About 5,000 IU for an adult in a day is pretty good.
And people can get an easy blood test if they want to.
Sure.
And it's not really a bad idea to do that.
See where you're at.
Yep.
Absolutely. But one of the big things, especially for what's going on right now, one of the big things we know is how influential vitamin D can be on your immune system. And a lot of tests have been done. Most of the people that have had to go to the hospital with COVID and have been very sick and have died of COVID have been the people that have had low vitamin D. So the amount you want to have is 60 to 80. When you get the test, it should be between 60 and 80. That's a really good number. And there's exponentially less and less and less people, not that you wouldn't get COVID maybe, but your symptoms would be much less.
Yeah. And it's a good thing to mention what you just did with that 60 to 80 number, because the testing will say that you're normal when you're less than that.
Yes.
Yeah,
the testing will say if you're over 40, it's normal. But again, what they test, generally when they test, it's so you don't get rickets. We don't want to just avoid disease. We want optimal. And optimal is between 60 and 80. And if you're optimal, a lot of other things don't happen. So we definitely want optimal there.
So pay attention to whatever your number is when you get that number. So.
I would also be caution people, because they hear, if you're listening to any natural health people, they're saying vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc and things like that. And that's all important, but where we get it is as important as that information. So I just want to caution people, don't buy your vitamin D at the grocery store. Don't buy it at the local drugstore. Look at your ingredients. Quite a few of the ones that people have brought me from the local grocery stores have corn oil and soy oil in them. And those are very, very inflammatory oils. So we wouldn't want anything that has that in it.
Your vitamin D should say ingredients, vitamin D. That's
Ours,
what you should.
one of the ones that we use here quite a bit, standard process, is vitamin D. Does have vitamin A in it also. And it's in the right ratio. Vitamin A helps the vitamin D work.
Pretty small to balance it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We also know you need magnesium to help D work and things like that, but those are all part of a pretty good balanced diet. We get our magnesium from dark green leafy vegetables and things like that.
A and D balance is the same in cod liver oil also.
Yes,
You know, so
naturally.
it's another good source.
Yeah, it's one of the very natural forms of vitamin D that we can get. It's one of the few natural sources of D that we can actually get. Cod liver oil is very good. That's why it's good, especially for the kids. They can chew our standard process brand of cod liver oil. It tastes like lemon, and they can just chew that. Even the little ones can use that one.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vitamin D is essential in making sure that there's enough calcium and C and all the other things we need for our immune system. It's essential for making sure that we have enough of that in our bloodstream so it's available when it's needed. So if somebody gets a cold or gets a virus, that they have enough calcium in the bloodstream to detect that pathogen and to show the immune system, the vitamin C, to direct the white blood cells where it needs to go. So it's really important that we have vitamin D.
The more we learn, the more we see how complex the whole system is, you know. Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful.
Okay. We hope that these talks are helpful for you. We enjoy doing them. Yeah. So if you have any questions or want to know anything more from us, feel free to reach out. You can do so on our website, www.sacswellnesscenter.com, or you can always call us, 989-732-7000.